I switched over and I just played it for fun. And the moment that I realized that you don't have mana in League of Legends, so you can just spam abilities and it's like way more dynamic and your champions doesn't take 50 hours to turn around and everything is a little bit more tamed, but on the other side, more dynamic. I just fell in love with this game, and in Dota it's really like you press a button and you're half HP, half mana, you know, and it's like a different flavor.
Hey everyone, this is Darius from the Shotcaller. I'm sitting here with Sheepy from the Unicorns of Love. Congrats on the official winning spree. 3 wins in a row.
We're going strong. Looking for 4, at least. I heard we can do 9.
It's possible.
So we're going for the 9, of course.
Now, right now, G2 and Fnatic haven't reached that point yet. So if they do drop, one of them has to drop a game today. And if the other drops a game next week, and you get the...
And then we win against them.
And then you get the 9-game winning spree, then you will have the record for the regular season, of course. And probably make playoffs.
Yes. I mean, this is the goal, of course. I mean, it's going to happen. What can I say?
Okay, well,
for the interview.
Yeah, this was nice. Good. No, but in all seriousness, right now, you have G2 and Fnatic kind of standing at the top, and it looks like nobody's gonna able to challenge them as of now for their top 2 spots. And for the rest of the league, anybody can get to playoffs. Who do you personally think, besides the Unicorns themselves, of course, who are your toughest competitors for your playoff spots?
It's a little bit difficult to say, because I think right now in the EU we have one of the more exciting seasons where every team is able to beat every team. We saw that HJK is coming in stronger from last week and has been beating competitors that, you know, a bottom team usually shouldn't beat. So I think every team right now has a pretty good shot. Just from the standings wise, though, it makes the most sense to say names like Fnatic, Misfit, Vitality also had like a relatively strong showing. However, I think that performance-wise, they're not like the strongest team right now. But I think with the points they earned in the early season, when people were like not prepared for the style of snowball early game and play aggressive, and you know, in early game in this season, you're trying still to figure out like where to play on the map. So yeah, I think, and possibly, I'm not sure about Schalke right now. They won a game again, so you know they are maybe on the upswing, but it's really, really tough to say. And I think this is one of the things that the fans enjoy. You know, a little bit of, you know, every team can win, and so if you tune into any game, you really are, you know, in for a treat. So for example, today, you know, we won against Rockets, so it's you know, a positive thing.
Yeah, and I mean, Exile really popped off again, doing more than 10,000 damage in one team fight on that Azir.
Really yeah, everyone had like 2,000 or 1,000, and then yes.
I think it was the first time I saw a 5-digit damage graph in one.
It was like also like 10,000.
Well, it's over 9,000.
That is too much. Yeah, I mean, we had a hint setup as well pretty well. We played like Tam Kench, and they went hard engage. So the moment that they don't kill the Azir, it's just the worst feeling. If you Rakan ultimate in, the target gets eaten away from you, and you have to E back, and then you know this Azir will never ever die. So, you know, props also to Totoro to save Exile at the one team fight where it really, really mattered.
Totoro has been really stepping it up, I feel like.
Yeah, I think he's getting more used to the speaking English, and he's way more communicative, especially compared to the beginning. He is. Yeah, he is becoming a more stable, strong member of the team, and is pushing a lot, more than, you know, other people who are, you know, able to speak English. But I think everybody's doing really strong work on implementing themselves into their game, and the results are showing as well. When they are doing it, it just benefits the team so much. And I think that Totoro from this side is doing really well. I think that we as a team can improve a lot still, macro-wise. And we are very, very ambitious. So even though that, you know, I would like to say like everybody, good job, you know, we won a game. I think we're more of the teams that are realistic and say, hey, here we could have eaten somebody. And Totoro himself says, you know, I didn't perform too well today. I had some ultimates that weren't great, some eats that weren't on point, and I didn't really know what my place was until like mid game. But when he knew, then he's like really popping off. And especially, it's so exciting to play because everyone is looking for opportunities. So have, you know, as an enemy as well, it's like really hard to play against, because suddenly you have like I don't know, 2 lane swaps in a row, and you're like, you have to anticipate for that, and so it's really exciting to play.
Now, that said, when I first interviewed you the split, I believe the Unicorns were 1-7. And you were like, well, technically, scrims show that we can beat everyone and stuff. But then people on Reddit and Twitter were like, I remember the specific quote, one guy saying, don't tell me it's raining when you're pissing down down on me, which is an interesting comparison.
The quote.
10 out of 10. Now, you managed to turn it around, but that said, what was going wrong for a decent amount of time at the end of the day? Because 1-7 is a score that ended you guys in the complete bottom, 10th place.
Yeah, I mean, we have been 10th place before with the old Unicorns of Love roster as well, with Chachi and Hilly. So, people are like, oh my God, were they leaving, everything collapsing, and they're 10th place, and that's the sign. Well, we have been there before, and generally speaking, I don't know exactly how it was last time with Chachi and Hilly. I think it was just variance, like even if we have a chance of, let's say, like 50-60% of winning, there's still the opportunity or the way where you just go 1-7. I think a lot of our team of our games were ultra competitive. Against Splice we were ahead, I think in the end like 7,000 gold, and we went for the base race. And not saying that the other teams didn't play better, like we lose for a reason. But I think we're starting to figure out and play more on point about what we want to do on the map. And in the beginning of the split, we were just worse players. So I think we're just improving a lot, and we have to keep improving, because there's always an urgency to train and practice, always an urgency to improve, because either you are not ahead and you need to get ahead, or you need to stay ahead. And both of those is incredibly hard to maintain. So right now, I think the next challenge is, now that we have 2 wins, to tone down a little bit, like it's really good, and emphasize, it feels good to win, and this is what you're aiming for, but the reason that you're here is because of the hard work that you went in, and like keep focused. And I think this will be, mentality-wise, really an important step for us to do as a team. So, I think in the time where we won 7, I think our mentality was good, and I want to see how we are doing now in the positive. And it's a learning experience every time with the new team as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward, and I think nothing much changed outside of us just improving.
Okay, pretty straightforward at the end of the day. Now, that said, though, there was a statistic that showed in the summer split 2016, which I believe was previously the worst split for the Unicorns. After half the split was over, you guys were sitting at I believe, 30-40% win rate, which was the worst one out of all the splits. Whereas this one, at the at the middle mark of the split, you were at 11% win rate. So, of course, the discrepancy was still there between this season or this split and previous splits. Yeah. But of course that can be explained by new team.
I mean, it's true, but you're looking at a very specialized time frame. So if you're looking right now, I don't think if we are still last place, but I think we were before, or even tied with H2K for last place, depending on how they are doing as well.
If H2K win now, you're still tied, but
yeah, still tied. So we would still be the last place team. But if you're looking, then our win rate would be something like 28%, something like this. So yeah, I mean, in this case, it would be, it would be like, oh yeah, you guys have been performing better. I think, yeah, our low is a little bit lower, but yeah, League of Legends is a game of strong variance. So, if you have a 50% chance winning and you start 0-4 and people are like, holy shit, you're doing terrible, and then you end up the season 4-4, then it would be like a different flavor as if you start 4-0 and then go 0-4, like it's just, it's really easy to bend the stats to tell a story, but I think in this one it's just we have been improving, we have been doing better, and now we can also show that way stronger, and we still need to get way better because everyone in Europe is so strong.
Okay. Well, one thing I wanted to ask you, I was told that before the Unicorns of Love, you had a Dota team, which was the Rainbow Kittens, I believe?
No. We had a League of Legends team, which was the Rainbow Bunny Lovers. Okay. Of course. Same idea as the Unicorns of Love, like we played against, I don't know, Super Serious Gaming, XXL, and all the best names, and we were like, and then somewhere in the middle you read Rainbow Bunny Lovers, and they beat those upper teams. You were like, oh, holy cow, what the hell is going on? So I just loved the idea. But yeah, I played Dota before, the normal Dota, not Dota 2.
Oh, okay.
So I played Dota, and then when League of Legends came out, and it was kind of looking okay at the time, you know. I switched over and I just played it for fun. And the moment that I realized that you don't have mana in League of Legends, so you can just spam abilities and it's like way more dynamic and your champions doesn't take 50 hours to turn around and everything is a little bit more tamed, but on the other side, more dynamic. I just fell in love with this game, and in Dota it's really like you press a button and you're half HP, half mana, you know, and it's like a different flavor. Although I still, you know, enjoy Dota to some point, it's just League of Legends is more fun.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the stereotype, right? Like Dota is the most serious, even more strategic game to an extent, but a lot of people go like, okay, but I just want to have fun with my friends, so I'm gonna play League of Legends.
It's just playing out. It just feels, you know, like, but it's super subjective to people, you know, like. But for me, it was just more dynamic. I can do more stuff. I can use more spells, and I don't have to be, you know, buy like mana potions like 3 times and roam through the map and try to look for kills. Well, I'm level 1, and then there's like carry level, whatever, later on 16 that steals all your mana and one-shots you. You know, like it's a different flavor. It's a different way to play, and I think it's cool as well. But yeah, League of Legends just came easier and more enjoyable to just play.
So one last question, you can kind of transition to the special message to the fans, of course, but it was very nice to see you after the game go up to the Unicorns guys and like have a chat. It was shown on camera and stuff. Is that like, for me personally from the outside, it feels like this is a few of these things that make the Unicorns special in a way, that not just like after team games you have these fan meets and stuff, but you personally do engage with these people and like go up to them and have a special message maybe for them.
I mean, you know, like as an esports player or anything in life, you really only deserve what you're earning. So in the end, you know, if we are losing a game, then you're a loser, and if you're 1-7, you don't deserve anything. And this is really the truth. And as well, like if you're from Korea, especially the Korean mentality is really, really on point with that, where if you don't make it, you're really a loser, and you wasted the school system and all this kind of time. So, you know, for us, after the game, even if we're losing 1-7 and we are like objectively not deserving any kind of help or support or whatever because we're nothing special in this case, you still have those people that come up, and this is like something that you don't you know, actively just work towards. It's just something that is coming towards you, and that it's like just given, you know, it's really given from the people, and that's something, you know, you can't buy, you can't whatever. So I'm just extremely thankful, and I think most pros see it as well, at least the people in our team. So yeah, a huge thank you to everybody, you know, and that makes it like super happy because yeah, it's something, you know, that's just, you know, outside of the practice for something, and you get it, and this is just you get it, and it's great. You can just be thankful all the time.
Heartwarming words from Sheepy, from the Unicorns of Love, of course, and Darius from the Shotcaller. I hope you had a good day. See you then. Hey everyone, this is Darius from the Shotcaller, and I hope you just enjoyed that interview. This is a generic end card, so make sure to click here for another interview or here for a different interview. And if you want to check out more content, specifically from the NALCS, make sure to visit theshotcaller.net for more interviews and other esports content. Have a good day.